So yesterday, as you know, we got a nice surprise Star Wars Eclipse trailer. But before you continue watching this video, what is Star Wars Eclipse? Well, if you don't know what it is, you can check out the video that's popping up on the screen right now. I might leave a card or I might forget, whatever. Click the link in the description to see that video. Okay, if you're still here, then you know what this is. So basically, as you know, we got a nice trailer. So in this video, as the title says, I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to be breaking down this trailer for all the Easter eggs that you may have missed, because there's definitely a lot of stuff that could be hinting to the story of this. And some other different, like The Last Jedi. There's a Last Jedi Easter egg that I think might be in this, but I'll show you after. By the way, if you want to watch this trailer, I'll leave a link in the description. And also, this is on the official Star Wars YouTube channel right here. So without further ado, let's get right into it. It's number 5 on trending right now. So as you know, it's pretty popular with a bunch of other YouTubers. So let's go. So just to open that up, we see this character who appears to be taking a drumstick, and he's doing a little circle thing, probably ceremonial thing, and he's going to hit the drum. Now, this species of character is actually a very interesting species because we've never seen this species at all in Star Wars. This is a brand new thing, this brand new species to Star Wars, and this will be an interesting thing to talk about the canonically, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, whatever, the canonically of the show. Actually, if you want to know if this video gets 5 likes, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a video talking about if this is canon or not. So if this video gets 5 likes, I'm going to make a video talking about if this is canon. So hit the like button if you want that video, because that species is very interesting. I've heard one of my favorite YouTubers, his name is Bombastic. His name is obviously not actually Bombastic, but whatever. He liked to call that species the Voldemort species, like the Voldemort from Harry Potter. So he liked to joke around that species is the Voldemort species. And actually, at the end of the trailer, when you get to see that species face, he actually does look a little resemblance of Voldemort, you'll see. And then here's obviously the thing about the eclipse. That object right there, I'm going to talk about it at the end, but it's supposed to be reference to the Death Star because, you know, it's a big circle. But I'll talk about what I think that could be after. So then right there, you see your main protagonist. I believe that is going to be one of your protagonists, and he or she appears to be going from a ship and looking out at the window. So that gives you a hint that I actually think that this game might start with you being in a ship, and I'll talk about that after. Lucasfilm Games. This is a Lucasfilm Games collaborating with Quantic Dream to make this game, just to tell you. So this frame here is actually very interesting because I believe this planet right here is supposed to be Dakar, because this looks exactly like the opening of The Last Jedi where we got to see Dakar, because Dakar is a nice lush green forest planet with a nice set of rings going around it with the asteroids in it. So I'll pop a picture of Dakar right next to it, and you can definitely see the resemblance in this. Now the planets beside it kind of give us a little bit of a twist. I don't know, because I don't know if Dakar actually had planets that looked like that beside this. The red planet kind of does look like Yavin, and then Yavin 4 was the moon of Yavin, but if you remember, Yavin did not have rings going around it. So in my most likely this is Dakar. Now the ship that's going for this is what I said earlier about the plot. I think the story is going to start with you in a ship looking out at the sunset or whatever, the binary suns like Luke, and then you're going to crash land on Dakar to start the story up. This is evoking a little bit of Naboo. As you can tell, the bridges, the architecture, this all looks like Naboo. Now, I don't actually know if this is Naboo because the temple in the background does not look like Naboo architecture. This could be different palace than Theed. You can even tell that the ships, like the ship in the background, I'll put a circle around it, that is the same ship that Anakin and Padme boarded to get to Naboo in Attack of the Clones when they were kind of going incognito. And then in the foreground right here to the left, you can see one of the guards that you'll see later in the game, and I'll point that out for you. So I'm assuming that this is the same planet that you're going to see later. So here again, you can see that character right there. I do not know what species that character is, but on the left you can see a rodent, and this appears to be taking some monkeys. Those are not Kawaki monkey lizards, but they do evoke the thing of monkeys. An Admiral Akbar species, they're called Mon Calamari. It actually does have a little bit of resemblance to Admiral Raddus, but he probably isn't born yet. And this character also evokes a little bit kind of Embo from the Clone Wars. He was a bounty hunter during the Clone Wars, and his hat kind of looked like that, and he could throw it kind of like a frisbee. So now you see these guards right at the front right here. Well, that was the same guard that I was talking about earlier. I believe that this is the same planet that we were talking about earlier. Now, as you can tell, this definitely does not look anything like Naboo. So this kind of brings the likelihood down of it being Naboo. But like I said, it could be a different part of Naboo, because in the Phantom Menace and the rest of the prequels, we only saw the city called Theed, which is where Padme was. But this could be a different part of Naboo. It's still in the likelihood, but I feel like they're trying to get some more original planets for the show. So it's maybe trying to evoke Naboo, and maybe it's a whole different planet. Now, this species right here is the same species as the Duros Cad Bane, who was a bounty hunter featured in the Clone Wars and the Bad Batch. And it's also the same species of the character in Battlefront 2, who I do not remember his name, but he was one of the main protagonists. I'll pop a picture of him on the screen. So as you see, they're the drumming set of the whatever species is. They're doing the drums in the background. So it'll be interesting to see what these characters will play a role in this game. Okay, so this is what I was talking about the Last Jedi Easter egg right here. This scene, right, for some reason, it just reminds me a lot of the scene in The Last Jedi. You see the animal in the foreground right there? Well, that animal reminds me a lot of the animals that Poe, Finn, and Rose rode on to escape the planet of Cantonica when they were on Canto Bight. It just reminds me a lot of the scene, and even the grassy terrain. It just reminds me so much of that planet. I don't know if this is the same planet, which was called Cantonica, I believe is how it's pronounced. The architecture in the background also kind of looks like the Geonosian architecture. So this could always be Geonosis, but as we know, Geonosis had no water on it. So maybe the Geonosians originally inhabited Canto Bight, because this looks a lot like Canto Bight, but I believe this is just the animal looks a lot like there's so many animals that look like that. These are probably based on the camels of our world. And then there's a speeder skimming around in the background, which could most probably be a 74-E speeder, but the only thing is that you don't hear the iconic sound of the 74-E speeder. So it's most probably not one, but we'll see. And now this is a big reveal. This screenshot's probably going to be in the thumbnail to get some clicks on this video. It's Yoda in the council chamber. So this is definitely going to tell us that we're going to be on Coruscant. I doubt that a large portion of the game is probably going to be on Coruscant. It's probably going to be maybe a flashback of you training with Master Yoda. Maybe you will just visit the Coruscant between levels or something as just like a resting spot, because there's probably not going to be much action, but maybe we'll see some characters buying some death sticks in the underworld of Coruscant. Who knows? But I hope Yoda will be a pivotal part of this game. I also want to see younger Yoda, because this is supposed to take place around 300 years before the Phantom Menace. I believe it's slightly less, more like 200, but it's around that, so we're probably going to see a younger Yoda. Not too much. He'll probably be around 700 years old instead of the 900 he was in the Phantom Menace, but it'll be interesting to see how he is. More of those guards that we got to see earlier on the same planet, which I believe to be Naboo. Now, this thing right here, when I first saw this thing, I originally thought it was 3PO kind of stripped down when he was originally being built, but that wouldn't make sense because Anakin was not born 300 years before the Skywalker Saga. He was born 9 years before the Phantom Menace because he was just 9 in that movie. So this just gives me, this is clearly based on the character of C-3PO when he was stripped down, but this is clearly just another protocol droid which evokes so much 3PO. He looks almost the exact same, just stripped down. And the planet in the background appears to be the salt mines of, I don't remember the planet's name right now, I'll pop it on the screen now, but that was the same salt mines that Han visited in Solo Star Wars Story, and you can see the smoke coming off of the salt. And salt in the Star Wars universe is sort of like drugs in the Star Wars universe, so I'm assuming that maybe we'll get to go in the underworld of the salt mines of whatever that planet is, which I can't remember. It's Kessel, that was the planet name. And then you see the character looking at it. And as you see, like I said, this symbol is probably going to be the beginning of the game. And then you see the solar eclipse coming. Right now, it makes like a little bit of a moon shape, the sun. This was one of the good highlights of this game, which I really liked about this game. So let me break this down. This scene right here is probably pretty important. So there appears to be 2 Jedi sparring. Now, this is not fight to the death. This is most likely some training. And this planet right here, I do not know its name, but Star Wars Explained made a video, I'll leave a link in the description, where he thought that this could be the same planet that we got to see in the Star Wars VR game Tales from Galaxy's Edge. I'll pop the name of the planet on the screen right here, but I did not get this, so this is full credit to Star Wars Explained for figuring this out. I'm going to give you a clap for that. Congratulations. And also, somebody in the comments of that video also pointed out that the temple in the background is the same Zepho architecture that we got to see in Jedi Fallen Order, because the Zepho used to have some temples built on this temple. So this could be Easter egg to Jedi Fallen Order, because that's definitely Zepho architecture. So if you played that game, thumbs up for you if you noticed that. So this planet right here, you see the speeder in the bottom right there that just zoomed past. Well, this speeder is going to come up a lot through this show. So the speeder appears to be that it can go on the ground of a planet, and it can also go in the atmosphere and fly out in space. This planet also reminds me of the planet that you get to see in the new Lego Star Wars game, Star Wars Castaways, which is only available in Apple Arcade. Let's continue. More of the drumming Voldemorts. Then you get to see the same ship that I was talking about. So here's what I think. I think this part of the level is going to be a race with those ships, and it's going to be going through a bunch of different habitats is what this race is going to be. It's most likely that, or it could be that we're just seeing the same ship in multiple terrains. That could prove that this ship is very durable and could be used in multiple terrains. You can also see a factory in the background, which appears to be producing some gases, and this appears to be a pretty snowy planet reminiscent to Hoth and Ilum. Then you get the big reveal of Newt Gunray. No, just kidding. I don't know how long the Newt Gunray species can survive. I'm guessing that's not Newt Gunray because this could be a really young Newt Gunray, but I don't think they could survive for hundreds of years. So this is most likely the same species of Newt Gunray, which is a Nemoidian from Cato Nemoidia, I believe is how it's pronounced. So maybe it's a Nemoidian. I don't know how you pronounce it. Whatever. Let's continue. Two Jedi igniting their lightsabers. One is a nice yellow lightsaber like Rey's. The other one is blue. And you can definitely tell that the architecture of their hilts, or not architecture, whatever you would call it, the making of their hilts is reminiscent of the Old Republic. And then we get to see that they're clearly inhabited in some nice thick sweaters. So this could be the same planet that we got to see the race on. And they appear to be fighting some more people. I'm assuming the Sith. But the Sith weren't really around in this time period, so this might be something to talk about in another video. This Jedi who appears to be, I'm assuming that's a Jedi who appears to be in the wreckage of something. An army of soldiers, which I do not know what species that soldier is. I believe that we have seen that in Star Wars canon before. Then you see a couple of machines around them, which appear to be tanks. We have not seen these in the Star Wars canon before. And then coming towards us, these are the distinctive Separatist gunships, which proves that the Separatists are going to be in this, but this must be the early version of the Separatists, which is more like the Trade Federation. Because if you remember, the Separatists were not made yet 300 years ago. This must be the early formation of the Trade Federation. Now, originally, Trade Federation, they're the ones who made the droids and all the weapons for the Separatists. They were not originally militarized. I don't even know what that word is. They were not originally involved in the military. They just built their ships for more defending, quote unquote defending. I'm saying that because they were kind of bad guys, but whatever. So yeah, they built their ships originally not for military, and then eventually they were repurposed for military. So these must be the early variants of their armies, which they did not use to conquer, but to protect, quote unquote. This is the Lucre class ship. I believe it's what it's called. These are the Separatist ships that we got to see in the Phantom Menace, which Anakin blew up. So yeah, this, like I said, is the early version of the Separatist army. Now this is the same one used in the Phantom Menace, because after the Phantom Menace, they repurposed them and removed the antennas, and those were quote unquote militarized, or whatever the word is, and those were illegal to make. So originally they had the ones which were just peace and they were just blockades, and then after that they created a new model which was the exact same, except they removed the antenna because they no longer needed it to control the droids, and they now had basically weapons, and those were illegal to make. And then again, some of the ships around here are the same one that I told you about before to look out for, because those are definitely in the trailer. So I'm assuming that those are probably a type of Jedi shuttle. This part of the trailer just looks really cool to look at. And just to tell you, the ship in the bottom right corner, I'll circle it. That's the same ship that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan escaped in the Phantom Menace. More of those iconic turrets, and another ship that you can see in the background, which are more Trade Federation ships. The Jedi Speeder again. And now the reveal of Voldemort. See, look, I'll pop up the screen, the picture of Voldemort. See, you see the resemblance? They're pretty close, I guess. We're just going to call this guy Voldemort for the time being. Now, this character right here is also very interesting. I'm assuming that this is the leader of the Voldemort species. I'm assuming it's the same species. It looks like it's the same kind of species shape, I guess. I don't know. And this person is coming up from the tar, kind of like how the Ronin, I believe, the Kree in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 came out of the tar. I don't remember that movie very well, but I believe that could be a slight reference to that. Anyways, I'm assuming that they were drumming for them. The Voldemorts were drumming for him, their leader. And then we get the Eclipse. Star Wars Eclipse. And this, I'm just going to tell you, this symbol looks really cool. And there's a Quantic Dream logo. And there we go. That is the trailer. So I broke it down scene by scene. If there's any Easter eggs I missed, make sure to tell me down in the comments below. And also, if you want more information, like it says on the screen, make sure to go check out StarWarsEclipse.com. So I'm guessing we're going to get a lot more information on this thing. So actually, like I said, if this video gets 5 likes, I will make a video on if this is canon or not. So make sure to hit that like button. Anyways, I think that's all the details that I've got to talk about in this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, like I said, and bye.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
So be it, Jedi.